So we can do bailouts, or we can do economic development.
Chuck, you're going to sit on this for the whole special session, or
Well, I sat on it
until the retirement bill passes the House?
I think the history is I sat on it the whole session this year.
Yeah.
So what changed? Besides the fact that revenues continue to sink, and and the answer is can you keep doing the same thing we're doing all over again? Doesn't make any sense.
So, in answer to his question, then, are you going to sit on it until the House does something on pensions, or?
I think what we need to do is what I talked about on the Missouri Jobs and Prosperity Act. Instead of building a Missouri Christmas tree, trying to compete with states surrounding us, why don't we go out to entrepreneurs and sell them the idea that, hey, if you come to Missouri, we're going to leave you alone. We're going to allow you to grow. We're not going to tax you as much. We're not going to regulate you as much. We're going to do what you do best and create jobs. Why don't we do that approach rather than a tax credit system that hired lobbyists sit up here and work these halls trying to get a subsidy for a company that made $2 billion last year and let the small employers of the state pay for it? It doesn't make any sense. Small business growth is going to be the job driver in this economy. And until we start rewarding small businesses and fuel that growth, we're going to continue to get what we've got right now, and that's a tax credit system the state can't afford and is not creating economic development and jobs in this state.
So, Chuck, are you vowing to kill this for the session?
I want the state to actually, while the Titanic's going across the ocean, to move away from the iceberg rather than rearrange the deck chairs. So, yes, I think the state of Missouri needs to go a different direction when it comes to rewarding tax credits versus small business regulatory and tax environment to incentivize small businesses to grow.
So it's a yes or no question.
Yes,
Do you plan on
I,
you're going to kill the bill?
yeah, I think we need to go a different direction.
So yes,
Besides,
we'll kill
what
the
part of broke do we not understand? We got $1 billion shortfall next year that they're going to expect our budget committee to come in here and cut $1 billion out of this state budget, but we're still going to continue bailout programs for big companies.
So yes, you'll kill the bill.
Yeah.
Is there a way for the Senate to bring this bill up without changing its rules, getting it through your committee?
No. My job as chairman of fiscal review is to figure out how the state can afford to pay for things. What part of this broke do we not understand? We're looking at $1 billion shortfall next year. Now, are we going to cut? We already went through cuts. We've cut education. We cut categoricals for education. We cut mental health. What are we going to cut next year? And the job of this committee is to look at fiscal notes and figure out if the state can afford them or not. And right now, we're broke.
Has the governor reached out to talk to you about this bill?
No.
Do you anticipate keeping your committee chairmanship?
It really doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to do what I think is right for the long-term direction of the state. I've been consistent on this. I introduced a Missouri Jobs and Prosperity Act that takes the state a different direction. I sat on this bill the entire session. I sat on all tax credit bills the entire session because I believe we need to go a different direction. What we're doing is not working, and we've got to begin the process of changing it and moving away from the iceberg rather than just heading right for it and saying this is the way we've always done things.
So do you think endangering 3,500 jobs at Claycomo is going to force the state to change?
We're endangering about 10,000 state workers next year by not being able to balance the budget. We're already cutting back programs. What is the job of the state? To supply state services or issue tax credits to private businesses? What is more of a role of state government?
Do you think killing this bill would help your U.S. Senate campaign?
I could care less. I want what's best for the direction in the state of Missouri. I made this decision now, and I think that if you look back on my record, even before that, I was consistent on this on this issue. And, I've been trying to reform the tax credit system for a long time. Now, it's easy to sit and say, well, we'll reform it, we'll do it next year. Well, we've got an opportunity to do it now and begin the process of putting Missouri in the forefront when it comes to economic development rather than continually to race other states to the bottom because they're going broke too.
So do you expect the governor to change his call for the special session to do what you want to do?
I'm frustrated that we're even here to begin with when we're sitting here in a situation of figuring out if we're going to give a private company tax credits at a time when we're looking at $1 billion shortfall next year. Now, what part of that do we not understand? Revenues continue to decline, and our answer is spend more money. This doesn't make any sense.